Hello guys, welcome back to another review. This is probably one of my most anticipated reviews, and this is of Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa. I'm going to go full in depth real quick, but first let's go with the stats. This coaster is 206 feet tall, has a drop of 206 feet as well, and has a 91-degree angle, goes 76 miles per hour, has two inversions, and includes 4,075 feet of track. So it is a big coaster. And so this is the one roller coaster that everyone talked about. Everyone was worried about this coaster when it was closed for COVID. And that is because this roller coaster, let me say, after all these years of waiting, was worth it. And after 21 rides, I think I'm in love. This roller coaster really did impress me in every single aspect. And this ride, I mean, first off, Gwazi was such a beloved attraction. Yes, I know it was rough. I got to experience Gwazi, both sides, Lion and Tiger, even with PTC trains back when I was a young kid. And I actually really enjoyed it for some weird reason. That was because I was much younger. But they knew that Gwazi was a beloved attraction, and many fans were really sad to see it go. So Busch Gardens knew they had to do something. So they quickly called in RMC, and boom, we have Iron Gwazi. And this ride, just like I said before, it is seriously this ride is incredible. It has such incredible pacing. Yeah, the theming wasn't the best, but it was good. And speaking of theming, I absolutely loved all the Easter eggs that Busch gave for this roller coaster. Since Gwazi is such a beloved attraction, they still have the Lion and Tiger. They actually have some Easter eggs. I did not actually see those Easter eggs when I was in the queue line. That was just because I was super excited for what the coaster had to offer. But still, they had all those Easter eggs, which I really got to see them since I'm a big nostalgia fan. But yeah, and also I really liked how they still used both of the sides from the original attraction. They used the Tiger side for dispatches, but they saw the Lion side used for queue space, which I think is really awesome. And so yeah, now let's go ahead and get into the ride itself. So you go ahead and embark out of the station. As you're embarking, they play this really cool soundtrack, kind of gets you hyped up. And so then you go out and you go down this drop, and you don't really feel it in the front as much, but in the back row, you absolutely get ejected. And that's the one word to use Iron Gwazi is ejector. I'll go into the ride a little bit later, but this ride has so much ejector. And it also uses the lap bars. And let me tell you, with the lap bars, if you're afraid of it getting stapled on you, this ride will not staple you, I promise. You are pretty much good to go if you want the airtime. After this little dip, you go into the lift hill, and let me tell you, this lift hill is very steep. It is angled at 45 degrees, and let me tell you, you really feel that steepness. So you climb up all the way to the top, and at the top, you start to stall out a little bit, kind of getting in that last minute of breath before your Iron Gwazi experience starts. So then you go down the drop, and let me tell you, this drop is incredible. Absolutely is one of my favorite drops I've ever experienced on any roller coaster. It essentially is kind of like what Fury and I-305 would feel like if it were an RMC. You get a lot of airtime just going into the drop, and let me tell you, in the back row, you get absolutely whipped over it. So after the drop, then you go into the Overbank, and this Overbank I really enjoyed. You get a lot of nice flow to airtime, but then it anticipates you for the very anticipated death roll. And this death roll was a really good element. I absolutely enjoyed it, but the crazy thing is, it is not the best part of the ride. It is a very whippy element, especially in the back row, but there's just so many elements on the ride that I just feel like are crazier. The death roll, still a great element, but not as good as I expected. So after the death roll, you go into the Overbank, and this element was really good. It's probably the most intense part of the ride, but it anticipates you for the best part of the ride, in my opinion, which is the wave turn over the station, and holy crap, this element is insane. I don't know how, the sideways ejector that delivers to you is just crazy. And it even has a head chopper in there, so you really feel like your hands are just gonna fly out, which I loved it. Absolutely the best part of the entire ride. So then afterwards you go through some more wave turns and then to the zero-G stall, which I enjoyed. You get some good hang time, but it's not as good as Velocicoasters. Then afterwards you shouldn't overlook the end of the ride. You get so much more ejector, especially in that trick track double up, which sit in the back row right seat for the last hill. It's crazy. Then go through one more hill into the brakes, and let me tell you, speeding through the brakes means you have a great ride. So overall, what do I think of Iron Gwazi? Is it my number one roller coaster, my number one RC of all time? The answer to that is yes. This roller coaster is everything that I could have asked for, and it absolutely lived up to the high expectations I already set for myself. Like, it's just super smooth. It's super intense for an RMC. It's probably the most intense RMC that I've been on personally. Now, I've only been on 4 RMCs, so there could be some ones that are more intense. I don't know. This is just the most intense one that I've been on so far. And it's a nice long length, not too long, but not too short either. So for its overall score, I'm absolutely giving this a 10 out of 10, no doubt. Like, this roller coaster was just everything that I could have dreamed of. It's super re-rideable. I rode it 21 times, which I absolutely had a good feeling. Let me tell you, because the airtime is so strong, I literally had bruises on my thighs, airtime headache, but that means you get a good ride on this coaster. That is how you know that you've had a good ride. So that's going to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future if you enjoyed this one. And don't forget to turn on those post notifications so you know when I upload a new video. And feel free to comment below, what are your thoughts of Iron Gwazi? I like to hear them in the comments below. And also don't forget to check out Theme Park Eye Productions on all social media platforms. Instagram, TikTok, Discord. Go check it out because like I went you guys. I will see you guys next time, and you are clear for dispatch.